The most important is, I will say what I'm going to say, the most important also. Let's continue. So it's like representing a family. So God represents being a father and mother. Jesus Christ represents being a male gender. I represents being a female gender. But through the situations of Jesus Christ and me, there's a hard part people cannot accept. But, but, there's a big but. They like what Jesus Christ did, which is saving, but still mock him. Still, you can prove there that people really needed to embark accountability to themselves. Because I've said also through my other videos that through experience, you will experience different kinds of situations, which is like discrimination, disrespect, what else? Even very unexplainable situations that, oh, that part is, why you experience that part is the projection of people really doesn't know what they are fighting for, if it's on the right side or it's on the bad side. Some people are like that. They are in chaos inside. They are sometimes even additional denial. They don't know what path they will go because of number one reason is validation. What will people will say? Pe- is there any? I mean, people will go along with me if I'm go with this path, especially the right path. If it's wrong, maybe I will save myself from the situation of this kind of, because people really know how it feels to be isolated, to be mocked off, to be laughed off, to be disrespect of, to they know that part. But when they saw a person who can handle those kinds of, and they cannot, it's not, it's, I mean, it's bad to make other feel that why can you handle but me, I cannot. Just accept that you cannot handle, then later on you can handle it actually. The start to cut that kind of cycle is by reflecting, accepting, not denying it. Accepting that you cannot really handle that until you got the real courage and confidence to handle those kinds of things. Even maybe isolation you can handle. Validation you can handle. That you will not need any kind of praise from other people to say you can do it. Because that's the big problem of people. Someone should do this, someone should say this in my face or in my ears so that I can continue this kinds of work, especially in sharing right or preaching, why people stop because they are afraid of the results. No. The first step is accept that you cannot. Confess to God that you cannot. Seems so familiar actually. I know that that's the first step, but I didn't see this part what I'm seeing today. I'm visioning, which is the reason why that's the first step is for God will come in the way and help you actually beyond more to fix something. And later on, you didn't realize that you can really can do it. That's the explanation of that part. So actually, not I've said from my other video also that I represent the fallen angels and the race of half angel and half human. But I said I'm saying this now also that I represent being a woman. Why I said that I represent being a woman? I'm a woman, and even though, well, you know what it feels to be a woman if you're a woman, or those men that knows how being a woman, their emotions are up and down, not like men or male gender. Later on, woman will the moods of the woman is unexplainable, right? Moody, but still consider understanding, being patient, etc. What else? Considering the seven deadly sins, not doing it, and using your discernment, intuition, guts in the right path, not for you to drag in a situation which is leading you to more in chaos or life of miserable, like marrying early, like sleeping to different kinds of male gender, more, and more. I have a confession to say to all of us as being people, every individual people all over the world. God already forgiven us from those seven different kinds of sins. But there's a big but. You have to consider something. There's still a boundaries and limitations. You have to wisely use those different kinds of sins in the right way. On my other content, may that would be in my national language, which is Filipino or Tagalog, or this content of using English language. That I'm, excuse me. I'm sorry about that one. A little bit having a problem about short memory. Instantly, what I'm going to say next that I'm thinking is instantly wiped out. So I'm talking about the 70 sins. We are forgiven, and we have to consider something also. That's our limitations and boundaries. Like I've said, we have to use it wisely. You can do greed in the right way. I'm always saying this, which is you can use greed actually by learning more or digging more or ascending more to the different kinds of dimensional consciousness. I can say what I'm doing is a kind of greed because I've been at a level that no one can get. But because of that greed of digging more, I can see an explanation that others can may get the meaning or understand it. Others may not. Others even say, what is this person saying? Maybe this person has 7-Eleven, or this person's talking is nonsense and has no meaning. It's on the level of knowledge, intelligence, or wisdom. And so that no choice, others will dig more deep also on a way they can understand things. So, I'm also great in fixing myself, spirituality to physical, especially in the image of me or in my spirit, to clean myself from the sins that I did, the bloodline curse, that generational curse, and of course, even doing manifestation, that we can say it's on the right way because it's not only me it will help, but also others. I can say I can be jealous person or having that envy, but because of that, I learned more or dig. I will use again that dig or loving the situation of having a hard work, even though it's beyond more spirituality. That even, I can see the result in physical also, which is because of that. The projection is they're having a hard work to come against it, right? Because of envy and jealousy. So this that kind of situation both represent different kinds of uh, envy and jealousy. It could be bad or good, or money. You can be a materialistic person, but unless you really are gaining that money in the right way. But if it's in the bad way, automatically it's sin. Like double strike. You know already that money is sin, then you strikely did another kind of sin, which is You gain that money by scamming someone. You gain that money by deceiving someone. You gain that money by, you know what's the wrong way? Those different kinds of sins. You can, oh, like the gluttony. You're eater person, and if you eat too much, that's a sin, right? It's like, you can eat whatever you wanted, but make sure all that you serve in the plate will be eaten. Because consider others. There are other cultures which is when they serve a lot of different kinds of dishes. Then after that, if there's a leftover, they will throw it in the trash can. Consider the other people that didn't eat, cannot eat. If about what we know, which is 3 times a day, people should eat that way. And they only eat once a day or twice a week only, or even once a week. And here we are cooking different kinds of dishes, and we cannot eat it all. It's a kind of sin, right? If you realize, it's not a kind of culture. It's not kind. It's not good kind of a culture of its culture. It's a kind of toxicity, because life is getting harder, and we are still doing that kind of. We have to cook what we can eat actually. If we love fish, cook every time of the meal. Cook the things that you can consume at that kind of eating moment. Like if it's breakfast, cook what you can consume in that breakfast. If it's lunch, cook only what you can consume in lunchtime. Some people can cook mainly exceeding because they preheat it. That's okay, because at the end you will consume that all. Just a bit lazy in cooking every time, right? Oh, that's a quite a way of using laziness also, because sin is lazy, right? Because of laziness, like this cooking, you cook a meal exceeding from that moment of meal, which is the breakfast, so that for the whole day, from lunch and dinner, you're just going to hit it. Oh, use the laziness wisely. Like, if you're lazy to, that's why there's a use of inventor that they are saying. Those people that invents, especially if you are very lazy in carrying heavy things. There are invented things to carry the things more mechanical, I can say, than exerting more energy, that it will lead to body pain, right? And you, because of inventing that kinds of mechanics or machine, or you did something to help ease the situation, well, that's a kind of laziness but wise. Like you're using your brain wisely also. Like it's a part of live wisely. Some people use that live wisely through. That's why we are all, most of us, I mean, are lost in that kind of situation, or knowing. Live wisely. Use your brain wisely. But when you dig deep in their story, in their situation, yeah, they're living wisely, but they are getting it through scamming and deceiving others. Is that living wisely? In the wrong way, maybe. Living wisely in the wrong way. And what me and others saying is, especially if it's about preaching and giving messages about truth in the right path or way, it's on the right and the correct, common sensely. So I think this is too long. I think you understand what I'm saying, what is my point. And if I've said not enough, well, broaden your brain that can link on what I'm saying. It can explain, because one sitting, even though I took 1 hour, it's not even enough. So we really needed to work for ourselves. Whether even though Jesus Christ came, not me, He will even tell this to your face, that we have to work in ourselves to ascend from 3D dimensional consciousness to 4D consciousness, 5D consciousness, etc. We really needed to at least be matured, even though not perfect. Not always the time immature. Because we're proving we are already so spoiled brats. Because we're expecting that someone will carry the burdens as Jesus Christ did. We have to carry also ourselves to grow. If you don't understand these kinds of talking or knowing, I'm sorry to say this one, you're really eaten by the materialistic world. What's always in your mind is money, 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 money. And selfish ego and pride that make it more stronger that knowing of materialistic world. That's what I observe. At the end, you prove that, oh, that's why this person doesn't understand me. Oh, that's why this person cannot view more beyond, because this at the end, this person is revolving in only in materialistic world. That's why if you explain something beyond more and connect it to physical or materialistic world, no, that's not related. But if you realize it is related, that's why even you give a doubt to yourself. Because at the end, if you realize it, maybe this person is revolving again in materialistic world. How can you know? What sign? A person, OMG. How can you explain and know a person who is revolving in materialistic world? When this person not only explaining, but you know when there's an argument, this person always give its own truth, its own narrative. It's like there's no more perspective, or there's no more knowing than what that person is saying. That's why this person cannot understand you if you are explaining it not only in materialistic world, but you are explaining it through life also. Like this person cannot connect to you if you what you are talking about is life. And if that person gives an example about life, it always is related to money, 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 money. I guess I experienced that kind of person. Not all the time, but I already encountered. But because I'm not going out. But I can say I've encountered that kind of person. I can say not this moment, but in my school days, or I forgot. That times I'm studying or working time. It's a little bit cloudy. Maybe it's on my school days, in my college time, or when I'm working. But yeah, I experienced that kind of. But again, this is one of the curiosity of people that seeing these kinds of video. My video sometimes. Why am I confessing how I experience to a person, or how I feel, or what I observe, the meaning of that situation, for you to learn something. And if you are a person that being abused every time, so that you can see how you will drag yourself to the right way, the right way, I mean, or save yourself. That's it. Save yourself. Not to destroy that person also. Because that's an unwise way to solve that kind of situation. Because you know that kind of situation, how the person is revolving, you will use that knowing to destroy that person also, as that person destroying you. No. And if that person is wicked in watching this one, for him to look at itself, why he or she is doing wickedness to this people or person. That's the meaning of that, right? No other viewpoint why we person that experience kinds of a situation to a person have a story to someone. Maybe some people think, is this person destroying this person? That's why he is or she is confessing this kinds of situation that's he or she experienced to this person. No. Get the learning, from the situation, and if you are the ones who will experience it, or you are the ones who is doing it, fix yourself. Not mock the story. Because people really do that most of the time. Mock it. You did, like, they will say, you deserve it. In not knowing that, how come that person deserve it if that person is innocent? Because yes, they relate it to themselves. Maybe they related that they are a bad person. That's why they said, you deserve it. Right? Or just you are hearing the person's story because one day you will use to this person to blackmail it. Then later on, I always hear that kind of blackmail even though they didn't say that I will blackmail and use this story that you are saying to this person, and your relationship or your business will be destroyed. It's like that. But for me, I don't care because my purpose is different from what they are thinking. So all the time when you're doing something, it's all about the purpose. That's why whatever they give, whatever the fear that they give unto me, I don't care. Even though they say this kind of testimony that you did by telling the truth, which is even including politics, government, will destroy this and this and this and that. I don't care. Because the purpose itself is from God. And why would you, because I know there's a lot of people that curious and that whatever they say, it's like you that doesn't mind, didn't get to that kind of point, which is the feeling hurt, anger, and hatred. Then you will do it to others also, as they experience it, and they will do it to others. Again, it's on depend on you, on if you experience bad to other people, and it depends if you will do it to others also, or move on and be a better person. The choose, the pathway is, it depends on what you will choose between the two. Be wise or be unwise. Be matured or be immature. I know, even though how I explain is or my English is not that quite good, some will understand this one. I'm still adjusting in the level of explaining something more beyond, because I know there's something ascended again, and I'm adjusting on how will I explain the situation to the situation, connecting spiritual and physical materialistic world, that people can understand the layman's term. Like if it's scientist, all people cannot understand scientific names, right? That's why we should use layman's term. Or mathematics. Not everyone can understand complicated mathematical equations. That's why you have to explain it in layman's term again. So I'm trying my best. And this language is not my number one language. I'm only using this through this content. You know what? You could be a lovable person and very accommodated person, and can still gain a person which is very cautious and has a limitation in boundaries at the same time. Because if you consider abusive persons disrespectful, and still you will be a lovable person, oh, it depends. That's why there's a shift that they are saying. And consider emotions also. Not all the time same emotions with this. You can say that they are already mocking you and disrespecting you, and still you're smiling, and how you talk is nice in their face. Sometimes we have to wake up them to tell that you're already disrespecting me. You're already stepping on the boundaries and limitations. You already doesn't know your limitations and boundaries. That's why you're disrespecting people, right? If people doesn't understand that one, because I know Some people doesn't understand that kind of personality. Now, not all the time we have to say yes. There's a time to say yes, there's a time to say no, there's a time to be lovable, there's a time to be angry, express those emotions, etc. And I've said a lot. Again, thank you for hearing these kinds of sharing. Is there any people or person that went until the end? Comment down. Because I know this is long.